relatable character because she's a people pleaser, and I tend to have people pleasing tendencies and traits too. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ebony and I love talking about my favorite reads. I typically read literary fiction, poetry, and occasionally essays. So if that interests you, please do not forget to like and subscribe. It's totally free and it helps out my channel. I am officially the worst YouTuber because I never remind you guys to like and subscribe. But I wanted to make sure I did that first. Also, I really hope that you are having a lovely holiday season. We all know the end of November all the way up until January is the most chaotic, but also loving time filled with seeing family and friends that you haven't seen in a while. And my heart also goes out to those who maybe the holidays isn't the best times because you're missing someone or you feel alone. Whatever the case is, just know I'm here with you. I wanted to discuss today some of my recent reads, and I will say my reading pace has been very slow. I'm reading about 3 books a month, so I have 3 books to share with you guys for the month of November, things that I've read. So the first book that I finished in November is Freedom is a Constant Struggle on Ferguson, Palestine, and I forget the last piece of the subtitle, but I'll have it posted. And this is by Angela Davis. This is a collection of speeches that she gave from around the time of Ferguson, meaning Mike Brown, and relating that or finding the connectivity of Ferguson to Palestine and also other struggles of freedom throughout the world, throughout time. And when I tell you this book infuriated me, but in the most productive way possible, because in a society that tends to favor individualism and push individualistic mindsets and thinking, Angela Davis was a much needed reminder of how each struggle for freedom is connected no matter where you are, no matter who you are, and also how it's transnational and the connectivity or the similarities between, for instance, the militarization of the police in the United States, and then to what we're now seeing in Palestine, unfortunately, Israel bombing Palestine and the amount of loss of life and how the United States is complicit in that happening. So it was interesting to read this and also listen to it. I highly recommend reading and listening to it simultaneously with the audiobook and the text, because Angela Davis kind of narrates or re-gives the speeches, and to hear her voice and her delivery of the speeches just like really moves you even more. But then I also recommend having the text there so you can like highlight and annotate. At least that works for me. But yeah, it was just infuriating because I found myself getting into that mindset of an individualistic thinking. I am a Black person in America, so I really resonate with not only the struggles for freedom and equality that my people have faced in America, but also any other group around the world who is also fighting for equality and civil rights and fighting against dehumanization. But I found myself forgetting the connectivity, and instead I realized I was beginning to view things as isolated, which is very dangerous. And I'm sure that we all fall into this. And reading Freedom is a Constant Struggle was an excellent kind of wake-up call for me. And the way that Palestinians helped Black protesters during Ferguson know how to resist tear gas, because it was the same tear gas being used by the Israeli police on Palestinian civilians at the time. Like, just remembering that was so important for me. So once again, I will also link other resources and books that you can read on Palestine. I would love to read some more from Palestinian authors and poets, and yeah, freedom is a constant struggle. Of course, I think I rated it 5 stars. Every book that I read this in November actually will probably be on my favorites list, which is kind of crazy. Highly, highly recommend. Very good kind of introduction if you, like I was, kind of ignorant of the politics behind everything. I definitely recommend that you read Freedom is a Constant Struggle on audio and with the text. So the next book that I finished was Beloved by Toni Morrison. And this book to me was heartbreaking and raw, but it also had moments of leaving me in awe because Morrison's writing and how she accurately captures the tone and the mood and building suspense through the prose, through the writing, is unbelievable. Same thing, I listen to this on audio just because I'm in the car a lot now, so I listen to audiobooks in the car. But I will say I think that detracted from my experience of engaging and interacting with this novel because my experience was a bit disjointed, and I will definitely reread when I have more time and annotate the physical text. But Beloved follows Setha, who is a woman who is now living in Ohio. She escaped from slavery, and it tackles the theme of disremembering and what that means, what it means to be present but still be haunted by the past, and how it's important to remember that past and confront it in order to let go of it, and what that looks like, especially for Black people, Black mothers who are in this kind of transitional state in the United States of being enslaved. Oop, I think I just gave a preview of the book that I read. From going to being enslaved to freedom, and how to reckon with both realities. And that kind of manifests itself through the character of Beloved and the ways in which Beloved haunts and kind of confronts each character to remember something that was traumatizing. And the basis question, and this is why this read is so heavy, is Setha is confronted with the question of, should she allow her baby to live and to experience slavery, or is it better for her to unalive her baby so that they will never experience slavery? And that's kind of where Beloved, the character, comes to life, like living within that question, and how Setha reckons with her decision, or how she answered that question. Once again, of course, this is winning the Pulitzer. This is no surprise. This is my 4th Toni Morrison that I've read. I've read Scylla, which was one of my favorites last year. Beloved is definitely one of my favorites this year. Recitative, and I read The Bluest Eye when I was younger, but it's probably time for me to reread that. Slowly making my way through Toni Morrison's catalog, and she is one of my favorite writers just because she is able to hold this beautiful, intricate balance of world building, of characterization, of profound, prolific writing, and gives small moments of realization for the reader, and you see yourself in these characters. Does not matter. I'm not a mother, nor have I been enslaved before, but I still found myself relating to these characters and understanding their struggle, and that's the theme throughout all of Morrison's writing. I feel like she's very effective with that, and yeah, absolutely loved this. Highly recommend Beloved. And then certainly last but not least, obviously I read 2 kind of heavier novels, or a heavy novel and then of course an essay collection that felt heavy and dealt with heavy themes. So I wanted to read a book that I know I could breeze through and enjoy and kind of kick my feet sillily while reading it. And so I read Love Theoretically. This is by Ali Hazelwood, and I'm not typically a romance reader because I find that sometimes it's hard for me to engage. I need a little bit of realism, I think, in romance. But this had like a good balance of everything for me. This is about Elsie, who is a doctor of theoretical physics. Yeah, theoretical physics. And first off, that's what got me, because I love outer space. I love physics. And there was a lot of like references to that, obviously, throughout this. And we're following her as she wants to move from becoming an adjunct professor with no health benefits, and she has a chronic health condition, to securing a tenure track professorship. And she has the opportunity to interview at MIT, but then of course her enemy here, this is an enemies to lover, her enemy is in the experimental physicist realm, and he's very prominent for there, and basically he bashed her realm of physics and it caused the field to suffer. So she kind of hates him for that. But of course, things aren't as simple as it seems. But I love this because it was women in STEM representation. And as a former STEM major, I love this. Also, Elsie was just super, oh my God, can you hear my stomach growling? Elsie was just a super, super relatable character because she's a people pleaser. And I tend to have people pleasing tendencies and traits too. So I felt her, and how she kind of was able to stick up for herself and to voice her own opinions and what she wanted. And I thought the romance was good. It is spicy, but once again, I'm not really a romance reader. So I know a lot of people who read a lot of romance were saying the spice was like kind of that, but it did the job for me. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I love this. I thought it was great. I thought it was engaging. I read 350 pages in one day, and I think there's about 400 pages. Actually less than that. It's around like 380 pages. So I read basically this entire book in one day, which I have not done in such a long time. I read it from like Black Friday into that Saturday, and I absolutely loved. Shout out to Mina, because I saw this on both her TikTok and then on her YouTube channel, and she recommended it as Allie Hazelwood's best book because she's read them all, I want to say. And so based on that, and it was kind of already on my radar as something that I thought I might enjoy, I picked it up, and she was not wrong. I ate it up. I gave this 4.5 stars. Actually, every book that I read, Freedom is a Constant Struggle, got 5 stars. Beloved got, it's like pretty much a 5-star read, but like 4.5 because my reading experience was disjointed from it. But like I know when I reread it, it'll get 5 stars. And this got 4.5 stars for me. I love this. I ate it up. If there are any other romance recommendations that you have that are similar to this, and preferably like not from this author, I don't know if you have any other recommendations. I love a good academia setting. I love a good woman trying to overcome like adversity setting, but I also like enemies to lovers or fake dating. So yeah, well, anyway, I'm gushing. I love this. And yeah, that's essentially it. I did not read any poetry, meaning entire poetry collections, but I have been dabbling in and out of Life on Mars by Tracy K. Smith, which is my favorite poetry collection of all time. I don't even know where it is at this moment. Like I said, I've been dabbling in and out of it, and it's somewhere in my apartment. But that is it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to support this channel. Join our community. We love reading literary fiction over here, poetry over here, as well as the occasional book from left field. So if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought of them, and I hope you continue to enjoy the day or evening wherever you are. I'm sending love, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.